Hi, this is Joey at ESCplus. We are ready to kick off Melodi Grand Prix 2020. Yes, earlier this week in Oslo, NRK announced the first 9 finalists for this year's Melodi Grand Prix. Now, the way this works is the first 5 are finalists that are going straight through to the final. The other 4 that they announced have to compete in a heat this coming Saturday, in which one of those 4 will emerge victorious and move on to the final, which is happening on February 15th. Now, we had a call earlier this week with Mandy, our friend at ESC Norge, who attended the press conference and was able to give us some on-the-ground observations of what's happening there, and really tell us about the vibe and the mood and a little bit of background about all these artists. And so we chatted about the competitors and got to know a little bit more about them. Let's get into it. Let's talk about how your day was at NRK. How did it feel in the room? Like, was there extra excitement, or just, you've been to these things before. What was it like there?
Yeah, I would say every year when we go there, it's gonna be like a nervous feeling in the room, because you have all these artists who are just dying to get out there and announce that they've been working on something. It was just an amazing vibe in the room, and I think what NRK is doing this year is a little bit complicated for everybody to understand.
But I'm excited because we're going to talk today about the 4 songs that are going to compete this coming Saturday to go through the heat. And this is really the start of Eurovision 2020 as far as I'm concerned, because this Melodi Grand Prix, all eyes are on it. It's the 60th anniversary, and we're determining the successor to Kano, so the televote winner. So this is very important. So let's take a listen to our first song. So first song is by someone called Germund. It's short for Germund Hansen. He has got a song called Come Alive. I've got a chance to let go of my demons. I'm not afraid. I want to live here now. So Come Alive, I just think the vibe from Germund, it just feels like the singer-songwriter. He originally appeared on The Voice back in 2013. We know that he was very successful there in just demonstrating how good he can sing. And this is, I feel like this vibe here is really like a chanting kind of, a little bit reminiscent of Rasmussen from Denmark in 2018. So I have to say, this is my favorite of the 4. I feel that this lends itself well to potentially really interesting staging, and it doesn't feel necessarily like a cookie cutter Eurovision song. So it's got some authenticity to it that I really like. So I'm really excited to hear and see what Germund is going to bring to the stage on Saturday. To say I love you right out loud. Dreams and schemes and circus crowds. I looked at life that way. The next song is something called Rainbow by Kim Rusta. Still I held my head up high. Find the ray of light and fight on. Find the shining diamonds that will show you all what's going on. Now Kim has got a background of Norwegian folk. This past fall he was in a competition in Norway called, I'm going to get this wrong, Stjernkamp, where he made it to the final. That's a competition in Norway that celebrates lots of different genres of music, and so he connected with the public. This is important because we are facing a televote this Saturday, and he may have be fresh in people's mind. He may won a lot of fans. He also participated in Melodi Grand Prix back in 2012 with another song. Now, I've heard comparisons of this song to Rise Like a Phoenix, because it's got this orchestral crescendo, and it feels like it really brings out, I feel like every Eurovision cliche that you might think, like this let's talk about rainbows, and it's got this ascension feel to it, like very dramatic orchestration. So I think this is a very, very nice effort. It's just not for me. The next song we are going to talk about is Lisa Borund with Talking About Us. Now, Talking About Us is something that to me sounds like it could have been lifted directly from Melodi Festivalen. It's a perfect piece of pop. It's very, very well produced, high energy, and Lisa is no stranger to the stage either. She has been recording albums since she's very young, working in the Christian music vibe. And she's was even been to Eurovision before. She was with Alexander Rybak in Lisbon and performed as one of his backup dancers. So there's undoubtedly a lot of stage presence that she can offer. My concern about this song is more that it is just it's like so many other things that we have heard, and I don't know if it's going to be able to stand out in a final. But it does have a good chance to go through to the final of Melodi Grand Prix. It may face some really stiff competition there, but I feel like Lisa's energy and her fan following might surprise us. So I would say keep an eye on this one. And lastly, we are going to talk about Wild by Rayleigh. Like it wild, yeah, like it wild. This song, Laurel Barker is one of its authors, and she has penned a lot of good stuff, right? So that's one thing to note about this. Now, Rayleigh is also a former child star. She performed as Lota and was a very big star on YouTube for a while. She also participated in the same competition I mentioned earlier, at Sternkamp, but that was back in 2014 and 2015. And she also participated in Melodi Grand Prix back in 2016 with the song Louder. Now, this song for me is very crowd-pleasing. It's very much a fan favorite. I see this being very well loved by the Eurovision fan community. I think that it's gonna struggle to distinguish itself because in the field of Melodi Grand Prix, there's some stuff in there that I feel like could be really original and really, really groundbreaking to the competition, but this I feel like has been done a lot recently. And so while it may get a lot of love from the Norwegian viewing public on Saturday, I'm worried that it might struggle if this was the song that went to Eurovision. Especially because Kano has really elevated everyone's expectations of what Norway could bring. I just feel like there's room for something to be a little bit more fresh. So that's what I think. But we're going to find out also what the bookies think. So who are the favorite out of these four? So the odds are really tight right now going into the filming of this. The odds are split pretty evenly between Rayleigh with Wild and Kim Ristad with Rainbow. In third place, Lisa Borund, and last would be Germund. So looks like the bookies are expecting a showdown between Rayleigh and Kim. This will be interesting to see. I mean, I think Rayleigh definitely has that immediacy, that crowd-pleasing song. But Kim's song, I feel like may resonate more with some of the older viewers of Melodi Grand Prix. Again, this is the kickoff for the 60th anniversary. There's a lot of history around this event is a special year, so you may get a larger viewing audience than normal, and it may draw people that are fans of Melodi Grand Prix from quite a long time ago. And Kim's song does have a little bit more of that traditional Eurovision and Melodi Grand Prix vibe of a song from over the years. Rayleigh's song is very modern, very current. So I wonder if that is going to play into anything, but we will find out. But that's what the bookies think, and that's what we think here. Let us know in the comments who you're rooting for, and head on over to ESCplus.com to vote in our poll to see who's going to emerge victorious in Heat 1 of Melodi Grand Prix. And we will be back next week previewing Heat number 2.